My mother passed away when I was 16. She had a stroke. Oh God, I was so angry. And I was just confused and angry, and I didn't understand why the world was the way it was. Like nobody in this whole world knows what the fuck is going on or what is happening. I was an A student. When I applied myself, I always ended up getting good marks on everything, and I graduated pretty well. But I don't know, most of the time I really didn't care. My last 2 years after my mother passed away in high school, I just didn't attend classes really. I had a small group of friends that I was really, really close to. I would hang out with them, or a lot of people would come to my house. It was pretty easy for me to get away with stuff because my dad worked night shift like my whole life. My family is from Bosnia. They were refugees from the war, from the breakup of Yugoslavia. It's weird, like my dad would tell you that he's an atheist, but the rest of my family back home is Muslim. And I was, what, like 4 when 9/11 happened? It is the most violent religion. I mean, that was the popular narrative, right? I started browsing around like when I was 14. It was like pretty much just 4chan. So I've never met anyone in real life. I've never done anything violent. This is more like a college club showing different flavors of white nationalism, and then all the brochures are just like available at any time. I would just argue with people. It was just, I don't know, an obnoxious outlet that I thought I didn't really have any real consequences because everyone is just anonymous shitposting. Those spaces didn't really have any actual pushback on like the memes and stuff like that. All of it was very, pretty shallow statistics, basically. For a long time, I thought it was best for each race basically to have their own place. That's what I thought, you know, Africa for Africans. We should pay for their tickets, incentivize them to leave. So a lot of like what, I guess what like people like Richard Spencer would say, like the polite sort of, black people are arrested more for certain types of crimes or whatever. And then the conclusion that I would have walked away with back then was that like, oh, well, you know, for one reason or another, probably genetically, that they're, you know, more likely to do criminal stuff. There's a lot of stuff about like race and IQ and intelligence floating around. And people would talk about that a lot in the forums. If you look up any, I don't know, X country's average IQ or whatever, the number that pops out is going to be from IQ and the Wealth of Nations from Richard Flynn. And I read some criticisms of the methodology he used to get these numbers, how they arrived at like, you know, some of these numbers that they arrived at. It was just like bonkers. I remember reading that like, I believe in like Equatorial New Guinea or something like that. I think they used a sample size of like 30 children, like from like a mentally ill facility, like a hospital. And this was supposed to be like the sample size for the population of the country. I read it and I was like, this isn't anything. This doesn't mean anything. It was insane to me. I researched it and it made like a big crack in my ideology at the time. First thing that I was like, oh shit, well this is like all wrong and I need to be right. My beliefs at the time like contradicted my real life so much. Like there were people that I was in classes with that were black that were smarter than me or tested better than me or were better at drums than me. The thing is like when I believed a lot of this stuff, like I didn't think of myself as like a racist person. I was angry and I wanted I guess just like easy explanations for like not just at like my situation but like the state of the world. And I think there was just like a cognitive dissonance there that I slowly broke. I kept it to myself like the entire time. Nobody knew about this. You know, Islam was like a really, you know, harmful, violent religion. I have no doubt that some of those people went out and sought other things, but I guess I'm just lucky enough that I didn't. If I were to able to talk to myself, I would tell myself to get off the fucking internet. Look into some of the oppositional views and like actually try and understand them. Go fucking make some friends, okay? Go to some live shows or something. Go meet the other people that like the music you like, okay? You're gonna be pretty surprised, I guess.